Daniel 2:41. Whereas you saw the feet and toes partly of potter's clay and partly of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, yet the strength of the iron shall be in it, just as you saw the iron mixed with ceramic clay. They say all good things must come to an end. And as we saw last week, this was true of the Roman Empire as represented by the legs of iron in the statue found here in Daniel 2. Now the dream reveals the feet, but there is something very interesting and different about the feet in comparison to the rest of the image we've already seen. Expecting to find some sort of inferior metal, we find the feet are not made up of one material. While clay is mentioned, it is not the only material mentioned. It is mixed with another material. Again, our interest is drawn to an interesting point. Here, for the first time, a metal from the section above the layer in view is also added, and this time to the clay. Here the metal in question is iron. Since we've already established that the iron represents the Roman Empire, the presence of iron must mean that elements of the Roman Empire continue into the power in view here. Seeing how Odoacer, a Gothic king, defeated the Western Roman Emperor Augustulus, we see the power transfer over and into the various barbarian tribes which occupied Western Europe. Words like Tsar and Kaiser, derivatives of Caesar, become titles for the rulers of nations. There are the Romance languages which are called such not because they are romantic, but rather because Latin, the language of the Roman Empire, is the base of languages such as Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, and French. Even Germanic languages like English, German, and Dutch rely heavily on root words and grammatical structures from Latin. In the United States, while viewed as a democracy, it is in reality a republican form of government based on the early forms of Rome as she transitioned to an empire with an emperor. Even the architecture of Washington, D.C. is modeled after Roman architecture and reminds one of what can be seen when visiting the Eternal City, Rome. And while much of the strength of Rome remains in the countries which rose on top of the ashes of that empire, she is also not like Rome, lacking the unity and complete strength of what came before in the legs of iron. Yet, there is still more to be understood about these feet of iron and clay, which we will look at next week. Until then, Maranatha.